Hi friends and companions along this path of spiritual practice. We are caught in the tension between the threat to democracy on the Capitol, even as we are anticipating the inauguration and the celebration of the transference of powers befitting a democracy. We are caught in this in-between moment, in the tension between the depth of white supremacy, even as we have recently celebrated the prophetic work of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We are caught in the tension between the devastating pandemic, even as we are observing the vaccine and its promise of a future where the disease is behind us. When we are in this tension, caught in between, we are in that place where we feel uprooted and disestablished and disoriented. And perhaps like in no other situation, exposed to the raw edge of our existential condition, the existential questions and challenges that face us. In the Buddhist tradition, I come particularly out of that practice of koans or gongans, these questions that are exactly intended to catch us in that tension in between, to expose us to the existential precarity just under the surface of our lives that we are constantly managing. In the Zen Buddhist canon, there is a position of honor and prestige given to Jiaoju's Mu. It is koan case number 1 in the Mumunguan collection. And the koan goes like this. One day, a monk, in all seriousness, asked Master Jiaoju, "Does a dog have or not have Buddha nature?" Master Jiaoju replied, Mu, a negative particle meaning not have, without, nay, no. That koan is as succinct as it is stunningly surprising, because in the Buddhist teachings, almost a dogmatic and doctrinal teaching is the teaching of the Buddha that all beings have Buddha nature. The monk knew this, Zen Master Jiaoju knew this. Everything has Buddha nature. So why does Jiaoju respond Mu? Not have, no, nay, without. What is Jiaoju's Mu? That's a question that for thousands upon thousands of years, Zen Buddhist practitioners have been holding. This question of Jiaoju's Mu. What is Mu? A dog in that Chinese culture is not the beloved pet that we have at home. The dog in the Chinese Buddhist culture is that mangy, scruffy, half-starved, dirty mongrel of a creature. And as with all koans, not just that creature of a dog, but the racialized other, the immigrant other, the political other. Does that person or persons who carry the Confederate flag into the Capitol, do they have Buddha nature? Who is with Buddha nature and who is without Buddha nature? This is where the koan moves into a fundamentally important and dangerous question, asking who is sacred and who is not. There's something else. Does a dog have or not have Buddha nature? What if Buddha nature is something like a possession that we can have or not have? We can identify it. We can locate where it is. We can objectify it. And if we can objectify it, maybe we can actually commodify Buddha nature. We can package it. We can talk about techniques to get at it, and then we can put it out there in the market of spiritual consumerism. This is sort of the science of mind, right? If we can somehow objectify Buddha nature, it's somewhere in that mind, then we can package it and sell it for all the consumers who really are seeking to have Buddha nature. Not only that, if we can locate it and objectify it somewhere in the mind, maybe with the help of an MRI machine, then we begin to dualistically separate out the mind from the body, the pure from the impure, the sacred from the profane, the good from the evil. Distinctions are helpful in ordinary functioning, but when fear, greed, delusion, hatred are ambient realities, then distinctions can so easily become discriminations, separations, segregations. Zhao Zhu's response is mu. Mu, that is not an answer to the question. Mu that questions the question itself. Mu is not something that we can use to continue to objectify Buddha nature, as if Buddha nature is big or small or long or short or anything that we might measure. Zhao Zhu's mu challenges the framing of the question itself, questions the place from which that question is born. Our judgments, our discriminations, our biases. Zhao Zhu's mu invites us out, exposes us with humility and curiosity to the vastness of life itself. It asks us to let go of all of the measures, what we know, we think we know, what we believe we know about what Buddha nature is and who has it and who doesn't. Zhao Zhu's mu is an invitation and a challenge to see the thread of love that runs through the vastness of an interconnected reality. It is a challenge to see Buddha nature not as something that we can have or not have, but rather just the opposite, that it has us, that it has us tied in that single garment of destiny. Zen Master Zhao Zhu's mu is revealing just how attached we are to our definitions, our notion of Buddha nature, of what is holy and what is profane, of who's right and who's wrong. Zen Master Zhao Zhu gives us the mu to let go of everything so that there is nothing between us and the vastness, the holiness, the wholeness of the universe staring at us through the eyes of a dog, through the eyes of the other. Mu. Mu. And so, friends, we continue with our practice.